Oh! Okay, I've picked basically the most confusing name I could have possibly picked for this. But never mind, never mind, never mind. None of this really matters in the end. For all that matters is the fact that I'm here. No one else is here. That doesn't matter. What really matters... What does really matter? What really matters is the situation at hand that I will momentarily have a gander at. Any day now. Before the start of every stream, after picking up the pieces, I presumably should have the decency to have a look at the very tail end of the previous stream to have any sort of idea what I was doing, what was going on and what my idea was. But I think, in broad strokes, the situation is as follows. I have cleared out everything, well, that I could to the southwest. And now all I have is stuff to the north, not much of it, stuff to the east, and stuff to the northeast, with yellow being my biggest threat. The most fearsome of foes. Look at that little golden horseshoe behind the witch doctor's hut. Even though this is a thatched roof, as far as I can tell anyway, the horseshoe looks like it's an integral part of it, enhancing the building aesthetically. Either way, how dire is the situation exactly? I know we've had a couple of problems with the yellow descending over here, but I believe I've managed to fend the attackers off with a false over here. We have the castle of Rockhaven with a couple of pathetic defenders. Here's Roxana with a paltry army, but I believe our main forces at this juncture aren't particularly impressive, which is the problem, isn't it? What do we have at Hilltown? Do we have a false wealth recruiting? We absolutely do. We do not have giants, though, and we will not be able to get the Cloud Castle anytime soon. Because we don't have any gems, and we do not have a single source of gems that we could possibly rely on. There are some gems to pick up over here, but no mine to speak of. We have crystals. We could trade for gems. But ideally, we'd like a gem mine. Still, 5 tiers of units ought to be enough. Also, can we get phoenixes? Do we have phoenixes at home? We don't have phoenixes. We have absolutely no phoenixes, but I can make do with unicorns, I tell ya. I can snatch these ponies up. If only I can actually pay for that, that is, if I can pony up. And then we shall have a mighty force comprised of archmages and ponies and unicorns. That's right. Clearly that's the way to go. Here's Mandigal with respectable stats, I guess. Do you know any spells, Mandy? Any spells worth casting? You know Lightning Bolt. Well done. And of course you have Eagle Eye on Advanced. Glorious. So you have a 30% chance to learn any spell at level 3 or below. It's pathetic. But hey, that is the way things are. Nothing to recruit over here. I repeat, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, right, of course, and this is manned or womaned by Dawn, so it's not even Mandigal. No, I remember now. Dawn is over here in order to be able to possibly deliver reinforcements in the future. Mandigal is over here on board the ship, and he's gonna set sail for reinforcements? Conquest? Possibly both. Both would be nice. I think he should absolutely set sail to the east to get to our capital or whatever the hell, to Hilltown, so that we can get these precious units. And then, and only then, Yes, can we march forth? Obviously, once I get to Hilltown, the next step isn't going to be to just go for yellow. No, no, no. The next step clearly is gonna be to go east and deal with Astra over here and Yorksford. Sure. We'll have to face Agar with a pack of Hydras, but thankfully Hydras are sluggish beasts. I guess we are going against green before we are going against yellow. And I guess we will try to fend off attackers using these two castles over here. Should be able to manage that. An alternative plan is to head over here, get reinforcements, head north, get the ponies, and then go for yellow. However, attacking yellow is going to put us in an extremely awkward spot. Because then, if we get this little island, we'll be able to get attacked from the forces to the south, the forces to the northwest, possibly forces to the north, to the east, to the northeast. Whereas if we get this on board, we have a nice little border over here. Yeah, it's pretty logically consistent with everything we're doing. Also, Flint over here can collect as many ponies as he can possibly gather. So hooray for that. Anything worth getting over here? Anything of note? Doesn't seem that way. I could get stuff like the moat and so on, but it's not worth it. I could recruit additional heroes, but seriously, what are they supposed to do? Gather halflings? There's basically nothing. Well, there is the windmill over here that I guess I could keep on visiting from time to time, but is it worth recruiting another hero when I absolutely desperately need the resources to be able to get the reinforcements, to be able to march forth? I don't think so. 4 Archmagi cost more than recruiting a hero, so I don't know anymore. Maybe it is worth it. Rocks cannot be upgraded. I can only get a single one though. Let's end the turn. We might want to handle yellow for the sake of my sanity. Otherwise, Flint is going to have to keep on ping-ponging between these castles and desperately defending. And he just doesn't have that in him. He just doesn't have the experience. Alright, let's recruit some more unicorns over here to serve as defenses. Great, and as I recruit all of these units over there, I am less and less able to actually get the reinforcements I initially wanted to get from the castle over here. What, do I pick up the 2 ponies plus the Archmagi? Is that the plan? Because I can't quite disembark over here in a single turn. Well, unless I disembark over here, then I'll be on land over here and ready to defend against the forces of Roxana. Can I actually fend them off? Do I have the army to do that? Several vampires, few mummies, few upgraded mummies. Pack of this, pack of that. My forces are pretty unimpressive, but I should be able. I should be able to. Then again, if I am able to manage, then presumably so can Flint. He can hold the fort for the briefest of whiles. As I gather the forces over here. Alright, Flint, hold the fort. Anything I can really get here? Not much, thankfully. Well, not much because it's not much to recruit, and also not much because I can't afford that. Right, what will yellow do? Ah, yes, visit that and leave. Excellent. I wouldn't have had it any other way. And it's also a new week, so new reinforcements are prepped and ready. We can't actually recruit them all, alas, alas. So we'll have to take what we can and all that we can. But no more than we can. I guess the smart way to go about things is to leave some forces unrecruited and just march forth. Hold on. There are some ponies over here. Should I just leave the ponies behind? No, I think I should get them instead of, say, the balls. The balls deal 2 to 3 damage. Ponies deal 7 to 14. So having 5 more of them, that would be, say, that'll be 10 to 15 versus... So it might actually not be worth it to make this exchange. That's not a lot of ponies, although I'm going to get more ponies to the north. So I guess it ultimately does make sense. I could also hypothetically trade my resources away for more gold, but those are desperate measures. Technically, I don't have to chase Roxana unless I want to. I could wait for further reinforcements, but no, let's not. Let's get on board immediately and continue the conquest until lest I fall behind. Do I go for green or do I go for yellow? An important choice to be sure. Green isn't really making any particularly aggressive moves, whereas yellow is a threat. The sooner I dispatch them, the better. Let's see, let's have a gander in the Thieves Guilds. This is the relative level of might. I can't see total army strength in comparison, but I presume yellow is doing the best out of the bunch. Yes, that's the presumption I have made. They don't have much gold in the treasury, so they're struggling with resources, I guess. The stats aren't that great either. It really doesn't matter. I think I can go for any faction I desire, and I can dispatch them with these. However, I will go for yellow just because I am getting increasingly annoyed by the constant trips over here. Last thing I want to see is them repeatedly visiting that island and threatening Flint. Why can I not get that? I need the library, for which I need more gems. Gotcha. I'll recruit what I can and leave what I can't, I guess. I could hypothetically recruit more fire elementals, but I don't have the slots in my main hero's army. I could build marketplaces everywhere to be able to trade for gems, and it's not the worst of ideas. Let's go ahead and roll with that. Marketplaces. Marketplaces everywhere. Does this place have a marketplace? Not yet. Have one now. You get a marketplace, and you get a marketplace. Everyone gets a marketplace. I understand this is relatively expensive, and I don't have enough sulfur. Might as well trade for that. But with the tiniest bit of effort... Oh, yeah, I have enough resources, except I've already built something over here, so I can't quite build anything else this particular turn. But I will soon enough, worry not. Now, getting on board that boat, as handy as it might otherwise be, is not gonna stop me from slaying Roxana. First of all, let's head over... I should have recruited more units, whatever. Whatever, I'll deliver the few reinforcements, the few units of reinforcements that I can. Here, have some ponies. And that's about it. That's all I can give him. A couple of unicorns, that's about it. Now, let's attack Roxana. Slay her aboard the boat. And then proceed east. Getting rid of yellow altogether. What is the biggest threat over here? The vampires, they're not even upgraded. The nomads are a looming threat, I would say. Although the vampires fly. Let's try to get rid of the vampires as quickly as we can. Ah yes, Disrupting Ray. When the AI is in it for the long haul, Disrupting Ray is the spell of choice. Because it stacks. Unlike all the other debuffs, Disrupting Ray just stacks. You can keep on casting it, and it gets more and more debilitating with every passing moment. How many rocks will I lose? 0. None whatsoever. Down you go. Will you flee now? Will you even get the opportunity? I don't think so. A glorious victory. Do I get any artifacts? No, but I destroy the boat for no good reason whatsoever. What level are you? 11. Alright, how about you level up before getting on board? Presumably that's gonna take time. Then again, leveling up is worth it. Here, level up. Navigation or Eagle Eye? Navigation. Let's get as much out of those boats as we possibly can. And over here we can get the library, so we can get the upgrade next turn. Which we will. Thankfully, the actual upgrade to the Mage Tower, to the Ivory Tower, doesn't require advanced resources whatsoever. Oh no, not again. Come on now, Yellow. What are you doing? Ah, here's Vatauna. And I can't quite get there in time with Flint. Not exactly. So I guess hypothetically this place could fall. As a matter of fact, it probably will fall unless I can recruit sufficient reinforcements to hold off against the forces making their way over here. I can recruit absolutely everything, and I could recruit a wizard or a knight to go with that. Do I want another hero on this puny island taking care of business? I could, I guess. Yes, and it's better to have someone rather than not have someone, so let's recruit a hero, spread these troops out as well as I can. He'll learn the spells and defend. I could hypothetically just slaughter Vatauna, just attack her outright over here, but let's not. Let's not. Let's instead receive further reinforcements. Mostly from Flint, visiting New Dawn. It's just gonna be ponies, isn't it? It's always just ponies. Let's get the upgrade to the Ivory Tower. No, because I don't have enough gold. As much as it doesn't require advanced resources, it requires a hefty bit of cash. Oh, feeling brave tonight, I see. Check Vatauna out. She's got 1 point of attack, 0 points of defense, 3 points of spell power, 3 points of knowledge. She feels like she can take Mirini on. Her stats add to 5, your stats add to 7. So you have the experience. You think you can do it, huh? You think you can do it. Well, guess again. These vampires are the biggest threat over here, as far as I can tell. Do we march outside the castle walls? Let's not. Let's actually pass the turn with the unicorns and, yes, attack whatever we need to attack the moment it gets here. The dwarves attack the sprites. Right. Let's slay the final sprite with our sprites? No. There's no retaliation on this sort of an attack, so let's actually use the sprites to attack the other sprites. Sorry, let's use the sprites to attack the vampires, so the vampires do not get the opportunity to regenerate. Let's use another lightning bolt on the vampires. Attack them in melee with the druids, why not? Slay all those vampires. Down they go. Excellent. I've blocked myself off so I can't get to the sprites. And they will get an opportunity to attack with no retaliation because that's the way they're built. But that's about it. Nothing else can get past the castle walls. His creatures are sluggish. I'm firmly in control. I mean, her, Vataunas, whatever. My ranged units are mighty. This attack was ill-advised. Death Ripple! That's fine, that's acceptable. Lightning Bolt, Cure, Blind, Bless, Haste, Bloodlust. Slay the final dwarf. Come on. Everything dies. Mirini receives experience, and I'll give her luck on basic, I guess. She's not going anywhere. That was desperate. Let's head on north, get the reinforcements that we can get. Consolidate forces and so on. Get all the ponies. What else do we want? We want the ponies. That's about it. We want the ponies. Alright, I've ponied up for the ponies. And now we get the upgrade to the Ivory Tower over here so we can get advanced mages. These reinforcements are long overdue, but I can't deliver them quite yet. Now, for ponies. Flynn needs to deliver them all the way to the south. As far as Mirini is concerned, can she get some ponies? No, all the ponies are dead. Well, that simplifies matters significantly, doesn't it? Alright. Get the ponies from Flint. That's 17 ponies, or, you know, unicorns, whatever you want to call them. Might as well get on board any of those ships. He's got the movement points. And after he does so, he is gonna sail east. Not exactly to Morrowind, but to Rockhaven. After all, yellow has exerted itself. And thus, ultimately, will end up falling. Alright. Supposed to check the well. Yeah. Alchmagi. Only 2 of them. I'm out of gold. Typical. But that's perfectly okay. Once again, I have the forces. I don't have the resources. But to get the resources, I am mostly just going to conquer castles. Let's reveal a bit more of the territory. Though not that much, fine. We land right in front of the castle. There are presumably more castles in the area. Just waiting to get conquered. I could hypothetically use these 2 heroes to clear out whatever lies here. Yes, and get all the resource generating facilities. All of those precious mines and laboratories and whatnot. Wouldn't be the best of ideas. I have decided not to take the balls with me, replacing them with unicorns. That's a reasonable idea. I've recruited everything except for the balls, so now, even though it's day 6, might very well be the time to set sail, as long as I get a boat. And to get a boat, I need a shipyard, and for a shipyard I need 20 units of lumber. I can't afford that. Well then, I guess I'm stuck here. Is it a new week? The very least it will be soon, so I might as well travel here. A hero has been recruited to defend the castle. It's Roxana, again. Will her units be enough to defend it? I sincerely doubt it. For I've got my ponies. A single flying unit, no ranged units whatsoever. Mostly melee. I'm fairly confident I can slay the vampires without resorting to the lightning bolts, so let's not bother. Let's focus the skeletons with the lightning bolts, staying pretty much all of them. There we go. That's a couple of undead vampires turned into dead vampires. Disrupting ray does not really bother me in the slightest. The rocks, unfortunately, are gonna fall if... Well, some rocks are gonna die if I try to attack the mummies, because they're tier 6. So let's go for a tier 1 unit and then 2 tier 2 units. That's far more promising. Far better use of my resources. They're outside the castle walls that can be targeted. Might as well target them then. The mutant zombies. The biggest threat to my power at this juncture. Logos, help me. A tier 2 unit. Let's lightning bolt them. Zap them with no penalties, mind you. I know I'm losing a couple of archmages. That is acceptable, though unfortunate. We march right into the moat. The golems might get rusty, unless they're made of stainless steel, who knows? They are steel golems, maybe they are stainless steel golems, who knows? Anyway, that's it. I've lost 2 Archmagi, 3 rocks. The castle is now mine, scouting expert and navigation expert. We will set sail a decent bit, but scouting is not to be underestimated. We want to see things. Do you have a mage guild? How advanced is it? Lightning bolt, steel skin, not particularly impressive. It's interesting that lightning bolts are a tier 2 spell. It seems far more significant. It seems like it should be a higher tier spell, but it's not. We also have a thieves guild. What can we find out? No one has found any obelisks, to basically no one's surprise. Yellow has a gold problem. Yellow is a warrior. That's why we need to take care of yellow. Right here, right now. Green and purple are builders. They're gonna sit there and build to the heart's content. It can take a while. Do I actually want anything here? I could get the marketplace. Might as well. Not that I particularly care. This place is of basically no interest to me. I'm mostly going to secure the resources. I could go to the City of the Dead. I presumably won't. The observation tower reveals far-off lands. It's a mine, that's another mine. 2 heroes over here and a castle of Sorpigol that we are going to handle momentarily. Alright, the plan seems fairly clear. This is a lot of land, and all it has really is a single castle. I know I should presumably flag all the mines. I should send another hero over here, definitely. Could be Flint, could be anyone really. Let's handle... what am I doing? Let's handle all the recruitment over here that we can. Give him all the Sorceress's units he desires. Assuming he desires any Sorceress's units. Assuming he desires all the Sorceress's units, actually. And as soon as we have that... actually, next week, after we're done with next week's batch of reinforcements, we shall send him out to the east. We can't actually send Dawn anywhere because we don't have that boat. She doesn't have the summon boat spell either. So she's completely stuck. There's nothing she can do. I could hypothetically build a higher tier mage guild. I could get the required lumber and build a shipyard over here. I don't look forward to that. So she is essentially stuck. Next week, fair enough. I'll level up, whatever, diplomacy. And she'll be here soon enough. To get additional resources. Green has teleported someplace. Was it here? No. Well, where was it then? I'm fairly confident I've seen Green teleport someplace. Oh, over here. Here's Astra. That is interesting. There's a horde of nomads. I'm not sure I can take that on quite yet, but I don't think Astra can take that on either. So I guess we have access from this little island to another. But in the grand scheme of things, that's irrelevant. We're going to go for Yorks for the old-fashioned way. We are not going to muck about. First of all, let's take care of Ranlu. Then we shall head for Troyan. After we're done with that, Solpigol is our next destination. And after we're done with that, we're going for green. And I do not mean money. A paltry false, to be sure. Should I actually target the vampires? Well, it's kind of irrelevant, isn't it? I don't have the resources to cast too many spells. I should presumably rest. Should have my primary hero, whatever his name was, replenish his mana points soon enough. Otherwise, I'm going to live to regret that. Because I am gonna live. But I am also gonna regret. Alright. Can the skeletons actually reach the halflings in a single turn? They cannot, thank goodness. But they are my next target, obviously. Let's not make it easy. Let's not actually lose the ponies. As I've said, they cannot reach them. Fine, let's attack the skeletons with the rocks. No losses sustained. Single rock has perished over here. Zap. There's the ponies and the mummies. Down the mummies go. Single rock lost. The lightning helmet has been gained. The medal of valor as well. Hold on. The lightning... Is it defensive? Yeah. The lightning rod increases the damage you deal. Fair enough. Fine. It halves the damage my troops receive from lightning spells. Not as relevant. Then again, it's kind of relevant. If it wasn't for the lack of mana points, for the dearth of mana points, I would have cast lightning bolt on that guy. And to my chagrin, it would not have been particularly effective because he had the lightning helm. But it's all in the past now, it's largely irrelevant because the might of my army dwarfed his. Speaking of dwarfing, the last thing over here that I cannot quite recruit are dwarves. 10 of them, not exactly 7. But yes, obviously, as soon as we recruit those units, we are sending Flint to the east so he can flag the mines. Really? With that enormous army? Yeah, and he will also pass the unicorns or whatever. Give the ponies to Mandigo. That's his name. I can tell by the portrait. Alright. We'll ending this turn. There's not much left to do. Resources have been spent. Come on, Troyan, head west. There we go. You've headed west. Well done, well done. We can also flag the ruby mine so I can eventually get giants and then titans. It's a far-off prospect, but it's gonna happen eventually, I guess. Blah, indeed. Down you go, and since I get another go, I'm going to dispatch the sprites as well. So all this little sorceress is left with are largely sluggish melee troops. The dwarves go down, and it's just the skeletons and the mutant zombies left. Not much to write home about. Well, I guess it depends on whether you have seen zombies and skeletons and so on. Whatever. Depends on your degree of familiarity with the living dead. Over here in New Dawn, we are going to get the few remaining dwarves. And as I have promised, we are going to follow that up by sending Flint onto a boat. Now, presumably, he should also receive some reinforcements from Mirini. And thus, I should absolutely hurry up, recruit everything I can over here, and pass it on to Flint as quickly as I possibly can. Come on. Anything Dawn can do? No, she's stuck. Anything Mirini can do? No, she's waiting for additional reinforcements. Fair enough. Where's Flint? He's behind the castle. You can't exactly see him. He's hiding. Yeah, there's Green. Just prancing about on its own little island. Right. Oh, right, you can head through Nova. That's quite convenient. I didn't make that path out. Well, the path is hidden by the sand dunes, or whatever these are supposed to be. I presume they are dunes. I don't know, sand-covered mountains, whatever they are. Quartz are on top of quartz and silica. Mostly silica. Mostly silicon oxide, I presume. Whatever, whatever. Here's Vatauna, defending a castle, the castle of Sorpigal. And here we are, about to slay her. You know, the usual. It's obviously the first mission of the campaign. Thankfully, it's relatively simple. Unlike I have feared. For I have feared a great many things. For instance, the possibility that all of these missions would be so soul-crushingly difficult. And that I would not be able to manage. But thankfully, I can, and I will. Right, we head through here, we board the boat. And we shall flag all there is to flag over here. We presumably should have cleared out this island, but that's okay. Flint has got the time. He's also got quite a menacing force at this juncture. I'm not sure the forces of Mandigal are actually that impressive, comparatively. Yay. Forces of Vatauna defending Sorpigal. Not particularly impressive. And I have not regenerated the mana points, despite what I thought was necessary. Well, it doesn't matter in the end now, does it? Because I am going to take this castle and I can rest within. So my mana can finally get replenished. I think this is the most fearsome of units. The mutant zombies, all 22 of them. Some losses will therefore be sustained, but that's perfectly acceptable. Once again, that's a major castle, possibly the last castle of yellow that I need to conquer before we eliminate the entire faction. Losing a single rock is an acceptable outcome of this confrontation. Yes, disrupting ray. Not as disrupting as you'd think. Single bash, the mummies go down, and it's just the dwarves now. Sturdy as ever. But not indestructible. A single archmage and a single rock. Spell power +1, diplomacy, all eagle eye and expert. 40% chance to learn any spell of level 4 or higher. Fine. Yellow has been vanquished. Now rest at the castle of Sorpigal. Might as well get the third tier of the Mage Guild, but then again, we don't have the resources. We never do. But thankfully, there is some Mage Guild over here, and thus here you shall rest. Flint to disembark all the way. Well, exactly. This cap protects from mind-altering spells, I guess. Are we gonna have him fight lots of mummies? We could. No, let's disembark quickly. Anything else that can actually be done here? Let's collect some sprites, I guess. Since there are some of them in those dwellings. Mana points replenished, all 90 of them. How are we doing on foes? There's green and then there's purple. Purple, I know not what... Oh, I see. Purple has access to titans right now. Well, thankfully my total army strength is lower than that of purple. That's disturbing. My stats are also, well, those are stats of Flint, so they're not particularly impressive. But after we acquire all those precious resources and after we consolidate, we might just be able to overpower purple. One would hope so. And one does hope so because one is me in those circumstances. Alright then. Let's take our primary hero of Vandegal. Set sail to the south. Flint, taking the opportunity, is gonna pass the unicorns onto him. Here you go, couple of unicorns. And then he's gonna flag all there is to flag. Dawn is gonna remain stuck. Hold on, I can get her a boat now. I have the resources. I have the technology. Here you go, Dawn, a boat. Get yourself some Archmagi. Of course. I don't have the lumber to construct a ship. We'll get there eventually, we'll get there. She will deliver those reinforcements at some point. It might be too late to make any sort of impact whatsoever, but she is going to deliver those stupid reinforcements. It's day 5. Might as well wait a bit longer, I guess, before we go for the reinforcements. Might as well deliver a mightier batch. We should also get titans of our own, but for that, of course, we are going to need all the dwellings. And taking care of that takes a while. Alas, alas. Manda goes on board, Flint is busy doing his thing, flagging the mines. You don't need a huge research base, you need oh so many gems just to get the first tier. And then, of course, you need all the gems to follow it up, to actually be able to upgrade the Cloud Castle. We could just go for the Red Tower. The Red Tower does require an upfront investment, but you don't get any tiers of upgrades. You just get the Phoenixes and that's it. They're pretty good. They're not as great as Titans, but you can just stack them, can't you? And all I would have to do is make use of all the marketplaces I have acquired, and I have acquired a number of them. A huge number. We can just get the Red Tower. Here it is. Could have traded for a number of gems, but no. We'll get those Phoenixes week after week, and we're gonna put them on Mandigal. I'm not sure we're gonna get Titans, ever. But of course, if we are to get Phoenixes, I'm going to have to replace something. So what do we want exactly? Presumably I'm going to replace the rocks. I think I will. Alright, and I was also supposed to recruit all those units next week. We're gonna do that next week. Minis over here, everything is just peachy. It would be nice to get even more Phoenixes, but that's going to require so much mercury. Then again, we'll get it. Eventually. Flint is busy flagging, everything is going according to plan. Here's Mandigal. Can he actually receive the reinforcements before assaulting the enemy's castle? Wouldn't that be relatively wise? Does he have a force that can take all of this on? Well, there's a pack of Hydras. Hydras are tier 5, so the same tier as, you know, the Unicorns and the Archmagi. It's not going to be particularly safe, but I think he can take that on. Alright, let's risk it. He's got the spells to supplement that. He should be fine. Although we are going to replenish his forces as soon as he actually gets through that fight. It's day 7. The reinforcements will be here next week, and then we're gonna snatch them. Flint, flag this. Great, and then the alchemist lab and the crystal mine. Also, obviously the sawmill over there. And anything else he can get his hands on. He can't get his hands on anything else, unfortunately, which is still perfectly acceptable. It's within mission parameters. Right, it's a new week. Here's Agal with his forces. I don't particularly care. I haven't blocked that guy in. That's also not particularly meaningful. Just using my momentum. Slaughtered everything. But since it is indeed a new week, might as well take the opportunity to recruit everything that we can. If we have to replace the rocks, then let's ignore the rocks. Let's get the bountiful halflings. What else? We're also ignoring the balls. So no balls, no rocks. That's about it. That's the mighty force. Set sail, deliver the reinforcements. Mirini. Get the phoenixes. Well, as many phoenixes as you actually can, I guess. We require more mercury. More phoenixes have been acquired. More ponies. And that's about it. Those are the only units I am actually going to transfer to Mandigo. Might as well not waste our resources getting other units. Let's get all the ponies we can from this place, all the unicorns. Then get on a boat and try to reinforce Mandigo as soon as we can. Oh, he got on a boat. Well, you just abandoned your precious castle? Oh, this is going to be so atrocious. I guess he feels relatively safe, and for good reason. I guess he's got 16 Hydras, but then again, Hydras are relatively sluggish, aren't they? Let's start off by blinding the biggest threat, arguably, the Griffins. The blind spell, though low tier, is incredibly handy. Oh, great. We are essentially blocked by a barrel. That's okay. This is a puny force. I should have gotten my reinforcements first, but I didn't. All right. Now, first and foremost, let's slay the gargoyles. Well, yeah. Let's at least try. 11 gargoyles perish. 8 remain. All right. Bash them with the mages. It's a new turn though, right? So I presumably I should blind something else. Or use the lightning bolt spell. Yes, I could use it on the stupid Hydras. Or I could blind the Hydras for now. And take care of literally everything else ahead of time. Let's do that! First of all, the Minotaurs, there's 8 of them, they're all dead. Thanks to the dwarves are also all dead. Believe it or not, also dead. Because of ponies. Let's actually wait a decent while. High morale. No. I'm gonna start by attacking with the ponies. Check this out. Pretty much half of them just go down. Not the ponies, of course. A single unicorn has been lost. That's not much. Lightning bolt! 5 left. I know they counterattack every single time. They're griffins, after all. But that's okay. Down they all go. All of them. Every single last one. Bash these guys. 15 left. That's okay. I can treat them to a lightning bolt. Fall perish. 11 left. That continues to be 11. They're gonna counterattack against everything. That's okay. Unless they get blinded, then they don't get to counterattack. Oh, this is glorious. Let's not ruin a good thing. So let's wait up and actually start by attacking with the ponies. One remains. Fine. They counterattack out of being blinded. I slay absolutely everything. Indeed, I have suffered losses. Oh, what terrible losses. 2 unicorns, a rock, an archmage, and a single golem. Steel golem, in particular. I get the Sailor's Astral of Mobility, which gives me more movement on the sea, and that's about it. I also destroy the boat I came on. I can't go back until I build another boat. Well, classic. Alright, now let's lay siege to Yorksford. Shell place. Ville. Gee, that's a lot of centaurs you've got. It would be a shame if something were to happen to them. Like if they got struck by lightning. Just saying. Should have blinded them, shouldn't I have? Onwards, ponies. 2 Archmagi perished. That's not exactly a desirable outcome, to say the least. Might as well get rid of the rocks if I want to replace them anyway. Okay, something is within the reach of my precious steel golems. Might as well attack it. Lightning bolt! Damn you, griffins! The losses in this battle are going to be significantly more severe, which is asinine, since you should take the bigger force with you. You shouldn't just leave a force in the hands of a captain and then take a smaller force and a boat with you. I mean, you shouldn't split forces when faced with a siege to your castle in the first place. If you know the siege is coming, you presumably should stay within the castle walls. Or if you really want to come out swinging, just come out swinging then. Go ahead and attack the hero out there. But don't just split your forces and try to get on a boat, obviously. I do love this stupid AI. Can absolutely contend with it. And I get to complain about it too. It's a win-win. Navigation leadership. Leadership! I want those extra turns. Green, as you can see, Super Green, has not been eliminated entirely quite yet. Do we have the sulfur? No. No, we absolutely do not. Will we get the sulfur? No, probably not. We have plenty of crystals though. Any knights castles in the area? Any of them? Barbarians? Anything? No? Well, shucks. That's rather unfortunate, but no, we are presumably not going to be able to use all those precious crystals we have holded up until this point. Right, let's build a Thieves Guild. Get even more intel on our horrible foes. We can't really get more intel, that's about it. Here's the income. Blue has the most income, that's me. Purple has the highest, has the strongest army. Well, I just need to use that income to get a better army, that's it. Oh, and I have the most artifacts. I could also try to get the dragons or something, I don't know. I think I should just rely on phoenixes. That's about it, that's gonna be it. Anyway, we're going over here with Mirini to get the unicorns. That was the plan all along, wasn't it? She's over here with the unicorns. I might as well recruit some other units for her, just because I can. Leave the dwarves behind. I'm recruiting that so at least she's got something to go with her. We're getting on board a boat, and we're going to deliver those precious reinforcements all the way here. And as we do so, something wonderful will happen. We will leave a boat there for our precious, wonderful hero to possibly get on board. So we can leave. And then, of course, the hero I bring there is going to first deliver reinforcements and then stay there to flag any mines. Brilliant system. Alright, alright. Let's send Flint over here so we can actually flag the sawmill. We need some lumber. That's about it. I think we are replenishing our mana points, because more than half has been spent. Here's green, presumably all that's left of green. It's just Astra over there, milling about, aimlessly. This artifact is presumably for sale. Am I interested in buying an artifact? I know what that is. It grants me movement. No, hold on. It makes combat, makes sea combat, combat between boats. Boat to boat, ship to ship combat. Favor me. That's pretty much never gonna happen, is it? Well, anyway, let's send those reinforcements on the merry way. Get the tedious part out of the way as quickly as possible. And also reinforcements in Hilltown. I know, whatever. Let's send Flint on his merry way. Let's reveal the territory using the observation tower. From the observation tower I can see that there's another castle over here. What to my wondering eyes should appear? There's Barrock. And then there's the castle of Avalon. Yes. Avalon, of course, brings to mind a particularly wonderful scene from a game I haven't played in ages. And unfortunately, that scene is eminently quotable, but for that you need to actually remember the damn quote. Oh, it was a wonderful poem that I cannot, for the life of me, actually quote verbatim. I should have written it down. I should have learned it. It's basically nowhere to be found, is it? Yeah, no one cares. No one has written it down, alas, alas. I presumably should also just wait and receive reinforcements before heading over there and attacking Barrock and trying to take on Avalon. And the forces that lie within. So, yes. Cool your horses and hold your jets. Alright, both of them have disembarked. Flint will do regular Flint things. He's going to slowly try to make his way to the sawmill. Meanwhile, our precious reinforcements have finally arrived. That's quite a collection of steel golems. Oh, and Dawn, I guess, is too precious to lose because she's got the precious pearls. So there's that. We are replacing the rocks with phoenixes. Anything else? I'm afraid that's about it. So Marini over here is going to be responsible for, I don't know, flagging the sawmill or something. But with those precious reinforcements acquired, I can finally head south. And crush green, at least as much as green can be crushed. The stone lifts lead over here, so we can crush Astra, and that's going to be the end of green. Fine. Since Avalon is right there, we might as well take it. They'll of course spur green into action, considering the fact that that is presumably the final castle for green. And with no castles left, green will have 7 days to get one. So just milling about with all the heroes is not gonna be an option. That's a nice thing about this game. You can't just disperse and force the enemies to try and get you. No, you have to control at least one castle. Should I blind something? I presumably should blind something. It presumably should be the Hydras. Too much of a menace. And now we're going to slay the Galgos because they can fly and block the Centaurs because they can shoot. Yes, a single Galgo remains, I think. Unfortunate, but it's going to die to a retaliation, yes. To preempt all other nonsense, we are going to target the Griffins, which unfortunately will not fall because I only have 12 Archmagi. Thankfully, what remains of my... How many Phoenixes remain? Fall! All of them! They're all still alive. Fine, let's target the Minotaurs then. We can slay the Griffins with my precious steel golems. Not so precious, are they? I wanted to replace them, but apparently we're pulling their weight. And their weight is quite substantial. For they are made of steel. Alright, now it's just the silly little Hydras that I need to finish off. And thankfully, the castle walls are no impediment to that end. I know, I'll lose a couple of Archmagi. It's unfortunate, but we are slowly but surely dealing with the castle towers. Let's not risk the Phoenixes, shall we? Let's keep them alive. Even though it's kind of silly, because all the hill fall is to deal all that damage, but then again, the Hydras are so sluggish, there's no need. Onward, steel golems. You have the defense to be able to take the Hydras on. Oh boy, and the Hydras will take you on. Oh no, they won't. No, they won't. Of course not. They're going after the halflings. Pick on someone your own size, Hydras. They are going to get crushed by the golems. There we go. 5 Archmagi lost. Big whoop. Avalon is mine. It's got the fireball spell animate dead. I don't care. Doesn't have the green tower. Though the dungeon is going to provide me with ample resources. Ample indeed. The more that I think about it, the more I realize that conquering Warlock's castles as another faction is incredibly valuable because you get the dungeon and you don't really spend. Nah, who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? If you get this castle, you probably want the dragons under almost all circumstances. Never mind, though. Never mind. We're going after Barak. Finally getting the sawmill. Lack of navigation. It doesn't matter. Whatever. He's done with the purse, so she's heading back. Eventually she'll deliver some reinforcements. There's Mirini getting the sawmill. That's about it. There's Barak, desperately trying to retake some castle. Not gonna happen, buddy. You shouldn't have left powerful forces back at the castle while leaving yourself to, I don't know, get groceries. It's a bad call. Let's get rid of all of the griffins. Oh, and attack again to get rid of the gargoyle. Well, fine, not all of the gargoyles. Some of the gargoyles at least. Slay the remaining 2. Not a single phoenix has perished. No losses sustained whatsoever. Barak's history. Of course it is. Alright, here's Dawn, set sail. Right, you should deliver reinforcements from both of the castles. From both of the wizards' castles. Whatever, whatever. Improvements will be made to the process soon enough. Anything else? Do we have the resources for anything meaningful whatsoever? Anything? Can we get the Cloud Castle? No, we can't. Can we trade for gems? We presumably can. Let's eventually get some titans. Oh yeah, we absolutely should do that. Sheesh. Should have done that a while back. Okay, Cloud Castle it is. How dreamy. Alright. More gems. It's almost as many gems as we need. How's the other castle doing then? What do we need? We have the gold. We have the lumber and all that we actually need are the few gems that are missing. There we go. All right, 2 cloud castles, soon to be upgraded to 2 upgraded cloud castles. At which point we'll get 2 sources of mighty titans. We need 20 more gems again, don't we? Yes, we do. But we'll get those the old-fashioned way, among other ways, because we actually have a gem mine right now, right here, and we also are going to trade resources eventually. So there. Alright, here's Astra. She's completely and utterly stuck between a rock and a hard place. She can't attack the nomads because they're too powerful. There's too many of them. And she can't head south because her army is too paltry. We're also going to get the scroll, which grants either spell power or knowledge. Can't remember. I think it might possibly grant both. The last hero for green. Alas, alas. Slay all the sprites. Slay all the okay, not all the gargoyles. Fair enough. Unfortunately, I do not have enough of a mighty phoenix force to tackle them all. Maybe I should have targeted the gargoyles. Whatever. Ponies. Slay the gargoyles. There we go. And now it's just the minotaurs and the dwarves. Once again, no losses in terms of the phoenixes, which pleases me to no end. Although the losses to Archmage presumably should disturb me. Yeah, whatever. Everything has been slain, single Archmage has been lost, the Divine Breastplate of Protection has been acquired, leadership, an expert green has been vanquished. This increases defense by 3. Oh, semantical stats are 3, 6, 11, 10. Impressive, most impressive. Right, you are heading west. Mirini, meanwhile, is heading south for some inscrutable reason. I'm not sure if we shall ever scrut that reason. Though it presumably should be scruted. Ah yes, she's on her way to get, you know, among other things, the gem mine. And you know, among other reasons, it might just be valuable enough to get another hero right here, right now, say Sarakin the Wizard, and have him flag that stupid gem mine sooner, you know, a day or two sooner, because it's right there and we really need the gems. So even if I'm spending the gold to keep on acquiring gems faster, it's still valuable because then I'll be getting titans faster. Even though it's only a matter of conversion. After all, I am stockpiling on giants. The only thing that could possibly be a threat at this juncture is the month of plague, which presumably is not gonna happen, right? Surely it's not gonna happen. Let's make the assumption. Get the scroll, you gotta pay in crystal. I have plenty of crystals. Give me the scroll, the minor scroll of knowledge, which grants me what? Knowledge. 2 points of knowledge. So he's got a whopping total of 120 mana points at a maximum. A horde of Master Swordsmen. That's quite a few Master Swordsmen you've got, though. I presumably shouldn't mess with them. Yes, so this Mighty Falls... What should I even do with his Mighty Falls, as I term it? I presumably should go to this island and try to defend. After all, some threat might manifest itself. For all I know. And if it does, I need to be ready. Instead of being, you know, cut with my pants down. The only remaining falls on the map is purple. Purple is to the north, as far as I can tell. We shall sail over there. I have no idea what the point of ingression is. I have no idea how we can reach purple, but presumably we can do that in some way. We also have some gems over here, so the next order of business, as far as our primary hero is concerned, as far as Mandigo is concerned, is to get him over here, get him the reinforcements, conquer, well, flag everything, get all the resources, slaughter all the neutral forces and so on, and then set sail to the north to deal with the final threat. What's the what? The eye. Ah yes, that is the Eye of the Magi. It's what you get when you visit the hut of the Magi. It reveals territory on the map. It's a feature of the expansion. Either way, I think that's a good place to stop. That has been accomplished. Thanks for watching, and you will see me elsewhere.